So retirement.
Yes.
How can someone plan for retirement? Especially for people
Hmm.
working for companies like the
Yeah.
employers sponsor plans like 401ks, 403bs,
Hmm.
or for for
Yeah.
someone who's a small business owner, how to get ready for retirement.
Yeah. So definitely if you work for someone who has an employer sponsored retirement plan, first and foremost, make sure you are in it. Okay. So once you get that job and you sit down with human resources and they're telling you all the good things, listen to the investment part and get into their plan. It could be, like you said, a 401k, a Roth IRA, a Roth 401k, whatever it is, get in there and at least invest up to the match. Like if they're going to give you a 3% match, that's basically free money.
Mhm.
So invest up to 3%, they're going to match it. And then after that, you can go outside to a financial advisor. I am not a financial advisor. So,
Mhm.
but I always tell people to find someone that they trust. And for those who are entrepreneurs, get with an accountant. A lot accountants know the tax code. They know it very well. And there are a few retirement plans for entrepreneurs. It just how your business is set up that you need to be able to do that. So whether it's a self IRA or actually a self-employed 401k, but you have to be a certain type of business to have that. But so definitely be able to talk to an accountant so that you as entrepreneurs can start your own retirement as well.
So investing,
Yes.
how, do you have any idea on that? How to invest.
Mhm.
Also, we live in a crypto world. The crypto is coming in. So what's your
I
thought
am
on that?
not a crypto person. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but there's one thing I've always taken from, like the stars of the investment world is that if I don't understand something, I'm not investing my money in it. And more importantly, if I can't invest it to lose, I'm not investing it. And I don't have money to lose. And
Right.
so you will never see me in crypto or Bitcoin or anything like that, mainly because of course, it's unregulated, and they're trying to regulate it, which is a dangerous thing.
Right.
As because the United States is a place that if they don't have control of it, they're going to destroy it. And I
That's
think that's what they're out to do right now with crypto and Bitcoin. But I don't have money to lose, and people keep stealing it. I don't, and so and it's not FDIC insured. Is the government, U.S. government, is never gonna come save it. In 2008, when the crisis was happening, they swooped in and saved those banks. They
Mhm.
will never save any crypto anything. They will let it die. They did it to FX and they would do it to anyone. So I can't put my money in something that people won't come to save.
Right. How about the stock
Yeah.
market?
Yeah. So of course I'm definitely invested in the stock market. And so just being outside of what I do as an entrepreneur with my investment, I do have some stock in other places as well that I believe in the companies.
So how do you choose which stock to invest to? Do you go by
Yeah.
index fund or do you go by
Mhm.
individual stocks?
So I do both. So
Mm.
I do both. So I'm not somebody that is like we always give it. I'm not going to give investment advice and everything, but if it's something that you believe in, something that you buy all the time, that is the easiest way to start. So I love Apple, so of course I have Apple stock,
Mhm.
and that has been a good investment go up. But the good thing is if you can catch it when it's low.
Mhm.
People who invested in Google at first, my
Mhm.
goodness, those kind of Google and Amazon and those kind of people, that's the ones that you wish you could get it. I think the newest one is, I think is it Nvidia or something, like they caught the AI boom and now they're a
Right.
$1 trillion company. And
Right.
so if you caught them at the beginning, you made some good money. I know a couple of people who caught them in the beginning, and so they're smiling right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That- That's a good investment. So stock
Yeah.
market, that definitely is something that's worth pursuing.
Yeah. After your
It's more
employer sponsor plan, after that.
right,
Yeah.
it's more regulated, it's more
Mhm.
stable. The US government gonna always back up, those
Yeah,
companies.
they definitely with their investment banks. So
Right.
what happened in 2008 when all of them, it was starting to be a domino effect. They came in and $700 billion and propped it right back up. And they're just not going to do that for things that they don't have control of, and they don't have control of crypto and Bitcoin or any of that stuff. Anything that's not regulated by them, They're not going to put taxpayer dollars behind it.
Money tips for high school grads. I saw one of your video, great video by the way on your YouTube. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? What's your advice for high school grads?
Yeah, so high school graduates, that they are definitely in the real world now, and so that's what I made sure that they understood. That their entire life, somebody has woke them up to go to school. They have woke them up to go to their sport events, and life is not going to do that anymore. Life is going to be saying, "Oh, you want this? Where's my money?" And so, some of the tips that I gave them for those that were going on to university or going on to college is that you need to make sure that your financial aid is in place. Make sure the money is there, because the one thing that a college would do in the United States is kick you out over money you owe. And it can be as little as $200. I have seen it happen. Yes, I have seen it happen. They have kicked them out. Yes. Wow. And that person had been at that college for 2 whole years already. And the $200, they kicked them out until they paid it back, and then they could come back to campus. So I was telling those high school graduates, if you're going to college, that you needed to make sure your money was right. And for those that were going out into the workforce, after college, to make sure that they paid attention at their orientation. So when human resources starts talking about what your paid time off is, if you have any, what's your medical care, because a lot of people don't pay attention to that, and they go to the doctor. It's not covered because they're in the wrong doctor's office. They were supposed to be in a different one, and now they have a $3,000 bill that they can't pay. So medical debt in the United States is a huge problem. So I talked about paying attention to that, and whatever the retirement plan was, so that they can invest in that as soon as they got in there. So it was a 2-part, segment. It was talking about those going to college and what they need to look out for their money, and then those who were going into the workforce after high school and what they need to do with their money, because this is the fresh start. Yeah. Like you start your life off right after secondary, after high school, it makes it a lot easier. A lot of people start their life off wrong those first 4 years out of high school, and they can never recover.
So do you advise them to get into student loan debt?
And so I tell them first and foremost to find as many scholarships as possible. And they have scholarships for 6-year-olds. So you could have been looking for scholarships, but definitely while you're in high school to look for scholarships. If you haven't been able to get enough for college, sometimes student loans are a necessary evil, unfortunately. But what happens is that next school year, you need to have the scholarships as much as possible to cover that college education. And then I also tell them, when you graduate, don't keep the student loan like a pet. Pay it off aggressively. And so a lot of students, especially what I call first generation students, they're the first ones to go to college in their family. They don't come from rich backgrounds. They don't have a grandmother that can give them money. I was a first generation college student. If I didn't have a tennis scholarship, I probably wouldn't have been at school. So I understand that people have to take on student loan debt, but be strategic with it. Don't go to a college that's $40,000 and $50,000 a year. Go to a college that's $20,000 a year and maybe get some scholarships to pretty much put a dent in that cost. And then when you graduate with that, you get a new salary, live below your means, and pay that student loan debt off as quickly as possible.
Wow. So how about community college? Are those good option?
Yeah, definitely. Like it's a lot of people that are going to community college today, because a lot of times the first 2 years of college is general classes. You really get into your major until, you're going into your junior year, your third year of college. And a lot of careers only need a 2-year degree. Right. Some of them only need an apprenticeship, and they still pay you $80,000 a year. If you're a plumber or electrician, that is a highly paid job that you can get, with just an apprenticeship. So I always tell high school students, whether they're in their first year of high school or their last year of high school, be sure you know what you want to do before you go to college. Don't just go to college like, I think I want to do this. No, you don't need to do that. That's how you get into student loan debt, and a lot of it. And you stay in school too long. You go in for 5 and 6 years when you should have been in there for 4 years. And so I always say community college is a great option, especially if you're going for the first 2 years. You get those general ed classes, and then go ahead and graduate and go on to your 4-year.